Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Let's Talk CFL podcast, episode number 614. I'm your host, Christopher Jones, coming to you from Merritt, British Columbia. And who we got on the board tonight with us? We have Will MacDonald. Will, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing very well, thanks. I'm glad you
What's the
finally
matter?
I'm glad you finally got name pronunciations down to a T. Okay, maybe you can try some of the heavy duty ones. Football team guys like Akabaka or something like that. You always have trouble with names, but you got mine right tonight. Anyways, I am
I
having
don't
a
know what the
good
fuck he's
day.
talking about.
Yes, you do. I'm
Okay.
having a good day. I get to go to a football game tomorrow. That's all I care about. And it's supposed to be 28 in Calgary tomorrow. So I don't have to
There
sit
you
in the
go.
rain again. I don't have to sit in the rain again. And
Yeah, it's going to be a warm one in Merritt, too.
it's the two number one teams in the CFL right now. So it should be a good game, minus a quarterback. But that's what backups are for.
That's what backups
Anyways,
are for.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm still disappointed with the way the league is dealing with the backup situation, but so be it.
Why so?
And what's that?
Why so?
I don't think McLeod, Bethel,
Oh,
Thompson, Jake Mayer, Jeremiah Mazzoli,
right.
and Cody Fajardo should be in the CFL.
Okay.
I think we should have some young stud. Otherwise, how are we ever going to find the next Davis Alexander?
I don't know.
If all these useless rejects, retreads are still on the roster, how do we find the next big one? You can't.
Ricky obviously wants to say something. Let him say something. Introduce him.
We got to introduce Rick. He's not allowed to talk until I bring him on the show, right?
He put his hand up.
What, do you have to go potty? Okay, also on the panel tonight, we have Rick MacDonald. Rick, how are you doing, buddy? This is William's brother. These two are brothers, believe it or not. Yes, they do. One has hair, one doesn't.
I am doing well. It's scorching hot in Abbotsford today, and I'm just about finished my plate of crow I've been eating ever since mouthing off about Winnipeg and Calgary this past week.
And you notice, big brother, I didn't say a thing, did I?
Yeah, that's worse.
Well, I didn't say a thing. Well, it's only week 7. It's only week 7.
Hang on. I originally had picked Winnipeg to win the game, right?
Yes,
and then as soon as I heard that there were 2 offensive linemen not playing, starting O-linemen not playing for Winnipeg, I changed my bet to Calgary because I did not believe that they could defend, support, protect Zach Caleros. And I was right. They didn't. He got hurt.
So I'm going to let Ricky in on a little secret. The reason I don't gloat on any of these things is because I've been on this podcast for a long time, and Calgary lost Grey Cups 2 in a row, and they were the top of the heap for both of those seasons, and they lost both those Grey Cups. Yeah. And it mostly goes back to 2001, Ricky. Remember 2001?
Yes.
Okay, so William left nasty notes on everybody's desk at the office, because he was a Bomber fan back then, and the Bombers got shit kicked. So Willie had to run to the office at 10 o'clock at night to pick up all his notes so he didn't get beat on the next morning. Okay.
Well, Willie should have left the notes there like a man and taken his whooping.
No. So I don't gloat at all. But all I know is right now Calgary is the top team in the CFL. Period.
Thing is really for losers. Okay, even though you're winning, I do not agree with gloating at all. You know what? Trash talk, but before a game, go for it, man. Fair game. Everybody's welcome to that.
Except
but you know what? If you've won, shut up. Right? Because there's no other way of doing this.
Except if we're talking about Saskatchewan. Hello, Charles.
Chuck.
Say something.
Charles.
Turn your
I
mic
see
on.
him.
Charles.
There we go. There we go. I didn't have my
Sounds
audio.
better.
I didn't have my audio turned on.
Okay. Well, we're just introducing everybody. We're still in that kind of stage. So welcome to the show, Charles Cliff. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing good. I've actually been away the last couple of weeks, but it's good to be back and able to talk football.
Stop that, Rick. Just stop that.
Charles,
We're on TV, okay?
I got to ask Charles a question.
Okay.
Charles, did you enjoy the Edmonton game with 50 of your closest friends?
Yeah, I mean, it was nice. I could sit wherever I felt like, and there were no lineups at the concession. It was nice. It actually, honestly,
it was a damn good game too.
Yeah, for me, anyways. Compared to some of the other crowds I've seen in Edmonton, that wasn't that bad.
Okay.
It was actually better than some of the other ones I've seen.
It actually looked like there was a more BC Lion fans there than there was Edmonton Elk fans.
That's what I noticed, though, that there was a lot of BC Lions fans there.
And then last week, it looked like there was a lot more Saskatchewan Roughrider fans than BC Lion fans in BC Place.
I don't know if there was more, but there was a lot of Rider fans there, too.
There's a lot of green in that crowd.
There was.
They're everywhere.
It annoyed me, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, they keep coming back and keep coming back. It's kind of like a herpes virus.
Well.
Okay. We're going to go into our shows or our games from last week. I did not do the AI, so we are going to have to talk about these shows particularly. The first one up was the Toronto Argonauts and into Montreal to play the Alouettes at McGill Stadium. And this was an interesting game, and it was very, 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 very close. In fact, Toronto was ahead most of this game, and Montreal came back at the end and won it. And I was sitting there going, fuck, Toronto's going to win, Toronto's going to win, Toronto's going to win. And then all of a sudden, Montreal just came up and did what they were supposed to do and won the game. So I was pretty happy about that. We'll let Charles go first. He was the last one on. Talk about the game, buddy.
It looked to me, because Davis Alexander came back in the lineup, we're going to find out later that was a horrific mistake, but it looked to me like they were getting their timing down. That because Davis Alexander had missed a few weeks, he was struggling to get his timing down with his receivers. As that game went along, it got better, and by the time they got to the fourth quarter, they were kind of back in full stride and stuff like that. They get the lead back, and then he gets hurt again. So I hope they enjoyed their one win. I'm not sure they're going to be winning a lot after that, but we'll have to wait and see, because they're going to end up going back to McLeod Bethel Thompson, which hasn't worked out for them too well this season. Toronto, hey, give them credit. They played well in this game, probably better than they have in most of these games, until at least the fourth quarter, when their defense just kind of disappeared and let the Montreal offense do pretty much whatever they wanted.
How are we supposed to know which underwear is best for us? There's from $5 to $50 pairs.
What is that?
I'm not really sure.
Something popped up on my screen. Sorry, guys.
I thought I was being taken over by Rider fans. But yeah. So Toronto actually played quite well in this game until the fourth quarter, and then they flatlined both on offense and defense and let Montreal get back into the game and ultimately get a win. Very entertaining game. I was entertained by it. So good game for them.
Yeah. Okay. Rick, what would you like to add, sir?
I just echo that it was an entertaining game. There was some thrills and spills and some big passes and some nice runs and there's a little bit of everything, and the right team won.
Well, it's always going to be the right team, whoever's playing Toronto, because for the last year or two, we haven't liked Toronto very much because they have an idiot on their roster. Fortunately, he's not playing. I don't know if is he going to come back? I don't know. Who knows?
He's in Buffalo this week, apparently. He missed
Well, I
back
think
to
he
coming
lives
up.
there.
Yeah, he does live there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, William, you have anything to add on this game? How was your
The only
Philpott brother doing?
the only thing I can add is that as Montreal's quarterback ran into the end zone, we all said, "Oh, fuck,"
Oh,
because he pulled
I
his
watched
hamstring.
him pull up lame.
Yeah,
Yep.
because we knew it was over right there. He won the game, but was it worth it? That is the question.
Did they
He got
rush
the
him back?
touchdown.
Certainly
He
seems
won the
like it.
game, but he pulled the hamstring.
Mhm.
And I don't know because I'm a fat guy. I don't know what a hamstring is. Okay, how badly it affects people, but it's really hard to come back from. Apparently, the other
Well, you shouldn't come
Philpott,
back early.
the Philpott in Calgary missed an entire season 2 years ago with a hamstring, all 18 games.
Yeah.
So we shall see. Anyways, that's all. It was an entertaining game. I'm glad Montreal won, only because that meant I was right. But yeah, Arbuckle played quite well, but they
Agreed.
got outscored. They got outscored 12-0 in the fourth quarter. So, and once again, with a CFL game, when the score is that close, you know it's not over yet, unless
Never
you're
over.
Edmonton. Unless you're Edmonton. So,
This is true.
yeah.
This is true. Okay, so the final score was Montreal 26, Toronto 25. It was a 1-point game. Okay. Total score was 51. So we all got 100 points. Everybody picked Montreal to win this game. Charles ended up with 38, William with 40, CJ with 36, Rick with 28, and Sparky got 34. There you go. Next game up was very entertaining. It was the Calgary Stampeders in Winnipeg playing the Blue Bombers at Princess Auto Stadium. That's what it's not IGF anymore. It's now Princess Auto Stadium, which is good. I like Princess Autos. I go to the store. I don't use investors group. So there you go. I support the stadium in Winnipeg. This was an entertaining game, and I'm going to hang on. This was in Winnipeg. So, Rick, were you at this game there, being a Winnipeg Blue Bomber fan?
I was
Rick lives
not,
in
and
Abbotsford.
I did not watch it live. I recapped it. I was sadly busy that night at a rugby fundraiser. But it was an entertaining first half, anybody's game. And in the second half, Calgary just dialed it up a notch and Winnipeg dialed her down. Calgary just took over that game in the second half. It was very impressive.
Okay. William, you have more details
Um,
on your Stampeder victory?
Yeah, I sat there in on my vacation with my little bell going, "Go Stampeders," and it worked because I personally think they dominated. To be honest with you, they outscored Winnipeg in every quarter. The last one being the best because, well, Chris
Calgary
Strebler.
went to sleep.
Chris
Or sorry,
Strebler
Winnipeg
can't
went to sleep.
Chris Strebler can't play. I guess he can play quarterback against weaker teams, but he can't play it against Calgary. There was no chance of this game happening.
Was that a jab, Charles?
Maybe.
Yeah, it was. I referred to BC losing to Chris Strebler, okay? And
We got it.
They should be ashamed of themselves, okay? Anyways,
I happen to agree with you, but if you want to know that it wasn't Nathan Rourke, it was Jeremiah Mazzoli that lost to Chris Strebler.
I didn't.
Okay,
I
so
didn't say
hang
it-
on.
I
That's
didn't
not
say
fair.
it was. I didn't say it was Nathan Rourke. I said it was. I'm going to say it was the whole BC team. Okay. Anyways, that is a long time ago. We don't have to talk about that. I'm not finished with Calgary yet. And their defense dominated. It was pretty simple. Zach had some trouble with their defense when he was in, and then he took the hit that he took. So was that a late hit, guys?
Absolutely not.
I don't think it was.
Perfectly timed.
Agreed.
Oh, okay.
You could
Good.
take a video of that tackle and use it to teach young kids how to tackle a quarterback.
Because
It was
Zach did
perfectly
say,
timed. It did not lead with the head. It took him in the chest, wasn't low. It was a perfect tackle. Perfect sack.
It was just an unfortunate thing that he hit his head on the ground when he went down. It wasn't late.
Yeah.
Zach did say today that he thought it was a late hit.
Good for him. He's wrong.
Well,
Of course he did.
you know what? If he hadn't said that, I wouldn't have had any issues. But the fact that he said that, what a wimp. Okay. So have you seen these Japanese products now where they have this neck brace sort of neck thing that goes on, and when a person starts to fall over, it explodes and goes over their head so they don't get hurt when they fall over. They put it on old people and people on bicycles and stuff like this so that when they crash or they tip over, that they don't hurt themselves. We should get one of those for Zach.
I think I might order one for myself.
Yeah. Have you not seen them?
Nope.
Oh, they're on every Facebook advertisement around. I don't know how anybody has missed this, but yeah, they're
I
Japanese.
get kind of weary about what they
Japan,
advertise on Facebook.
And actually, I think they were invented in Sweden. I think it's a Swedish invention. And it's they use them on horseback riding and bicycles and old people just walking around, because sometimes old people tip over. You tip over, Rick? Every once in a while, you just go poof. Yeah.
You betcha.
Okay.
You betcha. That's how my face got so pretty.
I when I go outside to shovel snow, I wear a hockey helmet just in case. Okay.
Do you have a spoon around on a string around your neck too? Because that's not good.
Yes.
God, I haven't shoveled snow in more than 30 years.
Yeah, well, you live in that place that doesn't have snow, sort of. So, anyways.
I got an electric snow shovel.
Okay,
but
so
sorry, are we
Charles,
still talking
you want
about
to add
this
anything
game?
to this Calgary-Winnipeg game, or are you going to let these two brothers yell at each other?
Well, it's kind of
not-
entertaining to listen to these two, but
I'm actually not done yet. I thought
okay.
I thought Calgary was extremely impressive, and I'm not completely convinced yet. But if they win tomorrow, I guess it comes down to now they got to worry about not losing any guys, because injuries are also an important thing, right? So,
Well, if Calgary should win tomorrow because Davis Alexander isn't playing. If Davis Alexander wasn't playing, then it would be I would be impressed if Calgary beat them. But because it's McLeod Bethel Thompson, it's okay. Shit, you might as well be playing the Elks.
yeah. Well, not quite.
Not quite, but it's getting there.
He has
might as well be
he
playing
has
BC.
He has been a starter in this league for a number of years, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yes,
He was an MVP in the Grey Cup game, wasn't he?
I don't know.
Was he? No, because the one Grey Cup game he didn't play. Well, he didn't play last year, obviously, but the one Grey Cup game he started, he didn't finish. He got injured, and that's when Chad Kelly came in.
Exactly,
Yes,
but I
won the
still
whole
think he
thing.
was MVP.
I'd have to look that up. I don't think that's the case, but I could be wrong.
I could be wrong. I definitely, I'm just talking shit, so I have no idea if it's right or not. Okay, so anyhow, this game ended up Calgary 41, Winnipeg 20, and I really think that 20 was a okay. Never mind. Total point score was 61. Charles, you took Calgary. Will, you took Calgary. CJ took Calgary. Winnipeg, or Rick took Winnipeg, and Sparky had Calgary. So, Rick, you're down 100 points here.
I'm the loser.
Again, still. So Charles picked up an extra 24. Will got 22. CJ got 28. Rick got 38 because he actually went high on the score. And Sparky was low man at 18. The next game up was the BC Saskatchewan game. And, this game was really close at the end, but it wasn't close anywhere in the game.
No.
it like Saskatchewan came out and dominated the first quarter, and it was like sucking the hind tit the rest of the game. And I'm impressed that BC fought back. Everybody's saying it was in garbage time, but when you're that close, when you're 6 points in a game, is never really garbage time. So BC at the very end went for an onside kick. If they recovered the kick, they could have scored. It would have won. What garbage time would be? Saskatchewan would look like idiots if they thought that that was garbage time. So it didn't happen that way. BC didn't make the final grade, and they got beat by the green guys at home. It's so embarrassing. Yeah, there's just like way too many green guys in the stadium, and it's not a good thing. So, Charles, you were at this game. You talk about it first, there, please.
It was embarrassing, and I've seen a lot of people online that they're trying to put the blame on Nathan Rourke. Was Nathan Rourke great in this game? Was Nathan Rourke great in this game? No, I'm not saying he was. But he got put behind the 8 ball right from the beginning. Saskatchewan scores, well, they get a field goal. They kick, or they scored a field goal or a touchdown or something like that. Saskatchewan kicks off, and the idiot, the 77, that guy that they have returning kicks for some reason, fumbles, and they fell even more behind. So you put the offense already behind the 8 ball, and they've only run 2 plays at that point. So they didn't start. But honestly, the loss on this one is, in my mind, strictly on the BC defense and not the run defense. They were actually fairly good against the run in this game. They held AJ Ouellette pretty much in check. They knocked Kadeem Carey pretty much out for the entire season. Thanks, Rudolph. But they could not stop Trevor Harris. Every time Trevor Harris threw a ball, there was an open receiver standing there waiting for it, over and over again. They stopped the run on first down, put them in 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9. Saskatchewan would keep converting, and they had no answer for it. And Nathan and the offense tried to get back into it. Anytime they score and get it, like that one touchdown, the nice touchdown to Aiden Eberhardt. He steps up, the 40-yard touchdown. You think the Lions are going to get a bit of momentum? Defense lets the Riders score right away. And it was like that whenever the Lions scored a touchdown, the defense would give it right back. So they didn't get any rhythm back. The defense was just not good in this game, especially the secondary. They've got to tighten that up. And even at that point, like CJ said, it was 6 points. Now, yeah, an onside kick is a low percentage play, but it's still a possibility. So they were not completely dead and buried until there was 15 seconds left. Were they going to win that? Probably not. It at least was a chance. But they didn't deserve to win the game. Saskatchewan was by far the better team in this one, and they showed that. And the Lions defense, they got to get that secondary in. Trevor is a good quarterback, very good quarterback. But they made him look even better because their coverage schemes were not good in this. And you would have thought they would have made some adjustments at halftime. I thought the defense was better in the second half, but still nowhere near good enough to win this game. So that's it.
Definitely.
It was not fun, and I had Rider fans up and down cheering all around me, and I just kind of sat there and kind of pouted. It was not fun.
Yeah. William, you look like you want to say something.
They didn't want to.
Well, you know what? It's not very often where I agree with you guys about Nathan Rourke, but statistically, he was just as good as Trevor Harris was.
Yes, he was.
Okay? He was like 25 yards behind him. They both had three touchdowns and 1 interception. And
Correct.
So where BC's downfall is, they had was it 82 night, almost 100 yards in rushing from AJ Ouellette and the quarterback. the running quarterback in Saskatchewan, and their defense just wasn't that great, I guess. And so,
No guessing.
No, it just
Well,
wasn't good at all.
yeah, and I'm surprised because you guys always tell me that Mike Benavides is a good defensive coordinator, and they've had him all year. Do they have the players? That's the question.
Well,
Yeah, that's one thing. You got to wonder about personnel after a while.
Yeah.
I am worried about personnel because Mike Benavides did a good job as a defensive coordinator when Wally Buono was the GM and Roy Shivers was our chief scout. Okay. We had a great defense. That's gone.
Yep.
Has the game moved on from Benny? Like, is there now new things that offensive coordinators are doing that Benny can't grasp? Because the game does pass people by. So, is
Yeah, but-
that a possibility?
Bob Slovak in Calgary is 72 years old. You would think it would have
know.
passed him by.
I
but
know,
it
and I
hasn't.
would love to see Dan DeRozio in my O-line coach. 100%.
Right.
Dan
Yeah.
should be back, but I think he's in his early hundreds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he died, didn't he? I thought he died.
Yes, he did. Dan's
Yeah,
gone.
he did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he died. So
Dan ain't
Yeah.
coming back.
Dan's not
No.
coming back.
August 13th, 2024.
there we
Too
go.
bad because
I knew that.
he was an outstanding offensive line coach. I watched him in training camps work with the offensive line. You could tell he was doing a good job.
I had many, many
The man was
conversations with
brilliant.
him. He was one of my customers.
Yeah, the man was brilliant. Okay,
Yeah.
Rick,
Great coach.
talk about this BC Lions
Well,
game,
I'm-
Saskatchewan
I'm-
Rough Riders.
I'm going to tag up here with Will here and say the best thing about the BC Lions in that game was Mr. Rourke.
Nathan Rourke. Yep.
It was
I
the star
agree.
of that game on their side, if you ask me. Anybody that puts any blame on him, he did everything he could to win that damn game. And
Well, he
Everybody
did.
put blame on him. It's
nobody here,
unbelievable. You
nobody
should see
here, nobody here
Nobody
put
here.
blame
No,
on him.
absolutely not. We
Yeah,
all
no,
know better.
Charles was talking about the online idiots.
Yeah, the online
Yeah.
idiots. Everybody threw blame at Nathan Rourke. The
Nope.
biggest question that we had was, did we get rid of the wrong quarterback?
Yep.
No.
No, that was the biggest question. Yep.
It
Yeah.
was the big question that everybody was asking. It was ridiculous.
I got
No.
news for the people asking that. If you look at it, yeah, Calgary won, but Rourke's numbers were actually better this week than Vernon Adams.
Well,
I
okay.
mean,
Except
sure,
for
he won
one.
what?
Except for one.
Yeah, I
one.
said, yeah. Obviously,
but-
Calgary won the game, but yeah,
that,
but whatever.
that stuff only
It's
counts
not
head to
Vernon
head.
Adams'
No.
stat.
No, it's a team
But-
stat.
Yeah.
It's a team stat. And the BC Lions got the big L for a reason. Okay, so this was Saskatchewan 33, BC 27. There was only a 6-point spread on this. Total points was 60. Will took Saskatchewan. I think he was the only one. No, Sparky took Saskatchewan as well. So he got 100 points in there. Charles got 24, Will 26, CJ got 30. Rick got a big 38, and Sparky pulled in 24 points.
Really,
The last game,
I picked BC.
you picked BC, Rick.
Yeah, I
Wow.
believe he did.
What a friggin' brain fart that was.
It is.
In my
what it
mind,
is.
I picked Saskatchewan, but you guys have the data, so
We do. Okay, and we've got the fourth game up was the Hamilton-Ottawa game. This was in Ottawa. And yes, the Red Blacks were hosting the Ticats. And this was, what was it? Bo Levi Mitchell threw for 40,000 yards or 10,000. Yeah, 40,000 yards. He got into, or not that. He got into the top 10 passers of all times. He passed Tracy Ham. I think he got 40,000 yards the week before. But yeah, he passed Tracy Ham. He's now in number 10. Number 9 is Doug Flutie. Bo Levi Mitchell so far, he will pass Doug Flutie this year, except for the simple fact Mitchell's been in the CFL for 13 years and Flutie was only in for 8.
I thought it was 6.
I think it was 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
I could
2
be
with
mistaken.
BC. No, it was 2 with BC, 4 with Calgary, 2 with Toronto. 8 years.
8 years. So yeah, so Flutie did it in 8 years and Mitchell's doing it in 13. So that's a huge chunk more. That's over 50% more. Okay, so anyhow, this was an interesting game. Hamilton, in my opinion, dominated the entire game. Ottawa just didn't show up. I don't know what's the matter with that team. I knew this game was going south when the very first series of the game, Bob Dice throws a challenge flag. Now, and it was on pass interference on a play that was less than 10 yards. Okay, because the penalty was pass interference, 10 yards. So regardless of whether or not the call was made correctly, why are you wasting your one and only challenge at the 2-minute mark of the first quarter? It makes no freaking sense at all. You could have a game deciding play in the fourth quarter that you needed that challenge for. Granted, he won the challenge and he got to challenge another play, but
Woohoo!
why on a mean nothing play like that?
It's
And
the
they didn't
principle.
score points.
Obviously, he thought it was a sure thing, or he wouldn't have gambled. So,
But that's not the point.
Or he got wrapped up in the moment. Who knows? Who knows?
That's not fair. Fuck, poof. Out goes the flag.
There you go.
Like-
he has the ability to do that.
Ottawa got slapped around, and I am still shocked that Bob Dice has a job. I don't think he's going to get fired anytime soon, but he should. Sad thing is that Rick Campbell's going to replace him, and I don't think he's any better.
They did give Bob Dice a vote of confidence today, so they say they're not going to get rid of him in the near future. So they probably can't, because I think he signed a 2 or 3 year contract last season.
Yeah,
He did, and they
they have
probably
to
don't
pay
wanna
him for the
pay
next
him.
couple of years.
They don't want to
I
pay him
don't
to do
care if
nothing.
they have to pay him for 2 years. It shouldn't go against the salary cap.
Right, but they haven't
Once
figured
a
that
guy's
one out.
fired,
That's what that
fired.
stupid, and that's what that
Maybe
stupid
maybe the new commissioner will change that eventually. Who knows?
One of the dumbest fucking things I've ever heard.
Yes, I agree.
I have no issues with needing and having the requirement to fulfill a contract. The fact they don't do it for the players is kind of whimsical, but they have to do it for the coaches. But to include that into the salary cap for management, which is too low to start with, is ridiculous. You're penalizing the bad teams.
Yep.
We want the teams to get better, and they can't get better if you keep penalizing them. Okay. Hamilton, Ottawa. Who wants a shot at this one?
There's
I can
not
see
really
Rick
that.
wants.
Go ahead, Rick.
I don't have a whole lot to add. It was, like
There's
you said,
nothing to add. We haven't done it yet.
very one-sided. Very one-sided. Yeah, you did it. You talked a bunch about it, Christopher.
Not really.
Dominated. They played the sheds. Blah blah blah. They got no quarterback in Ottawa.
There's no quarterback in Ottawa.
No quarterback in Ottawa. Can't win a game without a quarterback.
What you're saying? Drew Brown is not a starting quarterback in the CFL? No, please don't tell me that.
He is not.
Wow.
He is not. But Hamilton is getting better and better every week. Watch out. Watch out. Soon to be first in the East.
Well, there's no doubt that they're they're the best team in the East right now.
Aren't they already first in the East? I guess Montreal's still
No,
technically.
no, I don't think so. I think they're tied with Montreal right now.
Who cares? Like, really,
Montreal and Hamilton are tied, and Saskatchewan and Calgary are tied.
it's the East.
It's the East. True.
It's the East.
Montreal or
Exactly.
Hamilton are tied, and then Ottawa and Toronto have a combined 2 wins.
So what else is new in the East? The weaker side.
Hashtag crossover.
Yeah, but
Edmonton
we're
is one
only
game out of a crossover position.
in week 7. So
Yep. True. A lot of time yet for things to change.
That's fair.
I mean, doesn't
Edmonton
Ottawa?
has one win.
I was gonna say, doesn't Ottawa have to play Toronto at least 6 more times this year?
Gotta love the
So,
CFL
there's
in
hope.
two divisions.
There's hope. There's hope.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. William,
Yes, sir.
you're following your brother. Ottawa, Hamilton.
Okay. You know what? I watched the game.
Hamilton
It was
victory.
It was entertaining. You know, I'm a Bo Levi
It was.
Mitchell fan, or was a Bo Levi Mitchell fan. Yeah, maybe Doug Flutie did it in 8 years, but you know, the difference is, I sat through many Doug Flutie Calgary playoff game in Calgary, and he couldn't play in the cold, and he only won 1 Grey Cup in Calgary. Okay, so you can say what you want about Bo Levi Mitchell, but Doug Flutie, he couldn't play in the cold weather. So
It's true.
Just saying.
So he went to Buffalo. That doesn't
And
make sense.
and Bo Levi Mitchell is the only quarterback in Stampeder history that has won 2 Grey Cups. So that's all I'm gonna say. It's all about the wins, baby. All about the wins.
Now, how many Grey Cups does Calgary have? 8?
I don't know.
It's not many.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Charles,
don't
do you have
remember
anything to finish this off?
Nothing really in particular. It was pretty much it was a one-sided game. I'm sorry. The reason I'm going to come out and say it, the reason I think Ottawa is struggling so much is because Bob Dice is the head coach. I'm sorry. He's a nice man, I'm sure, but he's not a head coach. Since Labor Day of last season, Ottawa is now 2-13. Why is he still there? And we've got some talented players there. They're not using them. And they never show any sort of ability to make adjustments. They're just not a well-coached team. And it quite frankly shows. And they're just not very good. And I mean, I don't mean to come down on Bob Dice. As long as he's there as coach, I just don't think it's going to get better.
I
think
mean,
it has
look
a
at
lot
the
to do
difference
with the
between
players.
Geno Lewis this year and Kenny Lawler.
Right. But isn't Geno Lewis like a superstar?
Yeah, he's a
No.
superstar. Okay, this
He
game
told us.
ended up Hamilton 30. They doubled up Ottawa. It was 30-15, 45 points total. Everybody picked Hamilton. And so, Charles, you got an extra 40 points. Will got 18. CJ got 24. Rick got 20 or 16. And Sparky got 22. So let's go and see what goes next. So,
And by the way,
The
Rick,
year
I
total-
checked for you. Hold on, I checked for Rick. You did pick BC, so you're a double loser last week.
Well, I knew they were right. They've got the list. I wasn't doubting that.
Yeah.
It's just my head
Well,
I was doubting.
I looked at the list, and yeah, you did
Yeah.
pick BC. So
So
I didn't think
for
Christopher
the
was wrong.
second week, what's that? I wasn't wrong.
go ahead.
Oh,
Go
you
ahead,
weren't.
Go ahead.
No, you weren't.
Oh. So the
Go ahead.
second week this year, William has broke
Yes.
500 points in 1 week. Okay. So week
Mhm.
7, you have 506 points. Charles had or hang on, Sparky was second at 498. Good job, Sparky. Charles is next at 426, CJ at 418, and Rick down at the bottom with 318. So far this season, Will's up at the top with 2540. Charles is next, right below him at just under 2,500. Sparky's at just under 2,400, so 100 points back. And CJ is halfway between Sparky and Rick. No, he's not even that. 2,348, and Rick's down at the bottom with 2,200. You're off the pace, Rick, by 340 points, almost like a whole fucking week.
Which
It's
is
like
why
you missed a week.
Which is why Rick never bets on sporting events.
That's a good thing.
Not since
I know.
Marvin Hagler lost to Sugar Ray.
I know why Rick is behind. Would you like to hear why?
Bomber fan?
He picked the Bombers twice, and he picked Hamilton the first game of the season.
I picked Hamilton the first 2 weeks.
Somebody posted on Facebook yesterday that said anybody who picks Hamilton in the first 2 weeks of any season is an idiot. And I'm going, should I tag Rick here? Okay.
I'll wear that with pride.
We're done on that. Okay, so let's talk CFL pick'em online. You got to go to CFL.ca and search for the group Let's Talk CFL. Join it up. We got a couple new people that joined. Anyhow, here we got Will McDonald is up in 4th place right now. Way to go, buddy. Sparky's in 7th. Charles is in 8th. CJ has dropped to 12. And Rick, you're at 14. So that's how we got it. That's our CFL pick'em. So get over there and join it and get going in this thing. So we have, what is this? Oh, power rankings. Let's talk power rankings for a bit. We got Sparky keeps screwing up our power rankings. Not in the thing. He does his calculations well on this, but he always picks weird teams. His order is always weird. And I think he's got this love affair. He's got a hard on for the Hamilton Tiger Cats right now. So let's talk power rankings. Rick, how do you consider a power ranking? What is the criteria?
You're not going to like it, Christopher.
I don't care.
I just look at the teams and I listen to my heart and I make a pick.
Okay, that's just ridiculous.
There's a reason I'm on the bottom, Christopher.
Yes, there is. Okay. William.
Yes.
How do you quantify your power rankings?
Well, the first week I just pick, okay, because we don't know what, because
we don't, correct.
Basically,
but after that, we're in week 8.
After that, I pick them based on wins and losses, and quite truthfully, I usually look at their injury list and so on and so forth. And yeah, so I don't have a scientific way that I do these things. I just look at, for example, 2 weeks ago, Montreal lost, was it? Or did they win? No, they lost 2 weeks ago. So they have to go down, in my opinion, because they're not going to win the next week.
Do you factor in who they lost to?
Of course I do.
So if they lost to Calgary, the number 1 team in the league, it wouldn't drop them as much as if they lost to Edmonton.
Yeah, and I think I did that a couple of weeks ago with, I can't remember which team it was, but they lost, but I didn't think they really lost, to be honest with you. They lost, okay, but I think it was the Hamilton Montreal game. I put no credence into Hamilton beating Montreal because I know they're not going to do that for the rest of the season if Montreal has their starting quarterback.
And Montreal did not have their starting quarterback for that game.
No, they did not.
No.
right? So,
Oh,
okay.
sorry,
So
no,
do you
no, it was the
factor
week.
in?
It was the week. It was the week BC beat Montreal. I didn't move Montreal at all because they played BC without their starting quarterback. So
Okay. So there's a point that I'm trying to make in here because I'm having a battle with Sparky right now. Do you factor in the strength and ability of the team moving forward? Do you take into account that Davis Alexander is now on the 6-game injury list because his hammy's gone?
I wouldn't.
I,
The
I,
first week, I'd make my decision after this week if that's going to affect my picks.
I do factor that in, as in, I don't think, depending on who Montreal plays, if they lose, I don't necessarily know if I would put them down at all, depending on who they played. Like, if they don't, but once again, you never know on any given day who's going to win, right?
You
Regardless
do
of how
not.
many injuries they have or how many. I mean, Ottawa has
So
beat Calgary this year.
injuries factor in, is what you're saying.
Absolutely, they do.
Okay,
The
Charles.
guys who win the Grey Cup every year are the ones with the least amount of injuries, in my mind.
Charles, do you factor in injuries? Do you look at the ability of the team moving forward, or are you focused on the rearview mirror of what's happened in the past?
I kind of, it's a combination of both. I do factor in injuries because of the, like, say, with Montreal, they've lost their starting quarterback. That's going to impact, I don't care who it is, that's going to impact your ability to win. Not to say you can't win, but it makes it less likely. So, yes, I do
Correct.
factor it in, and I factor in what has happened in the past. I mean, if they lose, like the Lions, they lose to Saskatchewan. They lost by 6 points. Saskatchewan's a top-level team. So it's not a huge surprise. Had the same thing happened against Ottawa, then I'm going to drop them more because you. I think you've got to take the strength of schedule into effect as well.
Correct.
I agree.
Okay, so bottom line is the Let's Talk CFL podcast. That is the 5 of us, because we do count Sparky in here, even though he's never been on the show. He hasn't been on the show, has he?
Nope.
Did we ever
Nope.
have him on the Blog Talk?
I don't think
Nope.
so. We
Nope.
asked him several
Nope.
times, but he hasn't come on.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay, so we have Calgary in first place. That's an undisputed position. All 5 of us picked Calgary to be number 1. We have Saskatchewan in number 2. 4 out of the 5, Sparky being the exception, took Saskatchewan in second. So we were kind of we're all on the same page there. Sparky had Hamilton. Don't understand
Why?
that. Then
Okay.
3 of us, the 3 old timers on the podcast, picked Hamilton in the third place. Rick brought Montreal up into third, as did Sparky, had Montreal in third. In fourth place was a bit of a decision here. Fourth place went to Montreal. So the group has Calgary, Saskatchewan, Hamilton. Montreal's in fourth. Will's the only one that put Montreal in fourth. Most of us put Winnipeg there. But Sparky, he's doing weird shit again. Okay, and then in fifth place was Winnipeg. Sixth place was BC. That was unanimous. Straight across the board, we had BC in sixth. Toronto is in seventh. Everybody had Toronto in seventh place except for me. I put Ottawa up there. I thought Ottawa is playing a little bit better game right now than Toronto, but either way, it doesn't really matter. It's a coin flip down at the bottom. Ottawa in eighth place, straight across the board. Charles, you had Edmonton up in eighth place with Ottawa in last. And then everybody else had Edmonton in the basement. So the group, the panel, has the power rankings at Calgary, Saskatchewan, Hamilton, Montreal, Winnipeg, BC, Toronto, Ottawa, Edmonton. And Will, your picks were exactly what the power rankings came out at. So you picked
So
them
you guys-
perfectly.
So you guys are finally listening to me
No,
after all these years. Okay.
no, we're not listening to you at all. We're just telling you that you
Okay.
got them right this one time out of how many 50,000 times that you've done it. Okay, so no,
Well,
we're not
yeah, but
giving a lot
hold
any
on,
credence to
hold
that.
on,
I'm just
hold on, hold on. This is the first year we've ever done power rankings, is it not?
doesn't
Yes,
Yeah,
matter.
pretty
is.
much.
Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
And even a broken watch is right twice a day.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, so we got 4 games coming up on the schedule for this weekend. The first one is Thursday night. We still have a Thursday night game until Labor Day. I hate Thursday night games. But anyhow, we have the Montreal Alouettes into Calgary for Thursday night. And CFL.ca panel, their media, has picked Calgary straight across the board to win. We have Calgary Stampeders at a 6.5 point favorite with an over under of 49.5. CFL Pick'em has Calgary 90%, Montreal 10. Sparky's calculator has Calgary at 50. Okay, so Sparky takes Calgary at 50. Charles, what would you like to do, sir?
This game would be a difficult game for me if Davis Alexander was playing. He's not. He's out again,
Correct.
probably for another 6 weeks. I'm sorry. I can't see right now. Calgary's rolling. They've beaten Winnipeg twice. They've beaten Saskatchewan. I can't see them losing to a Montreal team being led by McLeod Bethel Thompson. I just think they're a much better football team. They're at home. Yeah, I just see this as everything points to Calgary here. So I'll pick Calgary. I'll say Calgary 58 points.
Okay, you're going over.
Yeah, I am.
William, you're picking the Calgary Stampeders, William?
I am picking the Calgary Stampeders. Does anybody know if Sean Lemon is playing or not?
I have not heard.
Oh, okay.
He did sign.
Yeah, he did sign with Montreal. So, yeah, I'm gonna pick
Excuse me.
Calgary. I'm a little concerned because they are a young group and their heads get big. And you guys realize Calgary has now won as many games this year as they did last year, and it's only week
Yes.
7. That's
Yeah.
scary. That's
What
scary.
a
God,
difference
were they?
when Jake
God,
Mayer
were
is not
they?
your quarterback.
God, were they horrible last year? Thank you. And if Trevor Harris gets hurt, Jake Mayer is, yeah, Saskatchewan's not going anyways. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to say Calgary. Montreal's got a good defense. I'm going to say, what did Sparky pick? 50?
He did.
Is that what's, I'm going to say 49 Calgary.
49. Okay, so you're going under because it was a 49.5 was the over under. Okay, Rick.
There's one thing that keeps bouncing in my head with Calgary. Vernon Adams hasn't shit the bed yet this season. And you know
No,
he's
he
got
has
it
not.
at some point.
Okay, hang on. Let me quantify this for you. In my observation of Vernon Adams only shits the bed when the team gets behind. And then he tries to force the ball into places that it shouldn't be.
Okay.
And he ends up with multiple interceptions. So far, Calgary defense has kept the other team off the scoreboard early on in the games. So Adams has really never been behind by any more than 7 points. So he's never in a desperation mode. So as long as the Calgary defense can continue to do that, Vernon Adams isn't going to have a bad game.
Okay. So it could still
That's
happen.
my observation.
So it could still happen, you're saying?
Yes. But you know what?
That's what.
Hold on.
When's it going to happen?
I listened to an interview. I listened to an interview today with Vernon Adams, and he says this is the best defense he's ever been on a team with. And he says they back him up a lot. So I don't know if that's a good thing or not, because he says he's not scared of making mistakes anymore. So
good for him.
But the defense is going to rescue him.
Right.
Okay,
Yes.
So You saying that this is the best defense that he's ever played with?
No,
I'm
he's
going to
saying
say that that's not setting the bar very high.
he's saying it. So there you go.
He's saying.
Anyway, I'm going to pick Calgary. 54.
You sure, Rick? You sure you don't want to pick the Bombers?
You can't.
Anyways, go ahead.
I'll pick the Bombers in the Western Final when we beat you, Will.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
Rick, you need to come up with a score.
I did. 54.
He did fit.
You
You took CJ's score.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Sorry. I forgot because Charles took my 58 go-to this year. So
he did.
it hasn't worked out
He
for
did
me.
take your 58.
I'll go 57.
Okay. And I'm going to take the Calgary Stampeders at 54. I think they're stronger. They're the best team in the CFL, so it's very hard to bet against them right now. Vernon Adams, like I said, does not have bad games until he's behind. I don't think Montreal has the ability to put Calgary behind. Not with MBT, not with the law office in charge there. So no,
I agree. Not this game, but Vernon's day's coming.
It may. It just depends on who has the ability to do that. If Saskatchewan, what Saskatchewan did to BC by putting 3 points up, kickoff, fumble on the return, automatic 7 on the board, all of a sudden you're 10-0, that would frazzle Vernon Adams. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, and especially if they come back right away again with another 7 before BC or Calgary has a chance to do anything, that would fluster him really badly. That hasn't happened, so we'll carry on. The next game up is the Edmonton Elks are into Saskatchewan. What's the stadium called now? It's not Mosaic anymore, is it?
No, it's still Mosaic. Yep.
No,
Still Mosaic? Okay.
No, it's always been the toilet bowl without a cover.
Well, we know it's the toilet bowl. It looks like a fucking toilet. It needs a lid. Okay.
Yeah.
So Matthew Cause has taken the Edmonton Elks. Everybody else took the Riders. FanDuel has the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Does he get paid? Does he get paid? Maybe that's the job I'm going to look for.
He gets paid. And
wow.
You know what?
Amazing. Amazing.
He is 17-10 on the season in his picks.
He had a good record, but he wants attention.
In fact, Jamie Nye has 16-11. Pat Steinberg is winning at 20-7. So they're all fairly close.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
hey, that's something. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, Sparky, if you're listening, why don't you figure that one out for all of us as well? What we are overall.
Please don't.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting.
Oh, as opposed to just the points, the picks themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, well that might be a new column for the
yeah, absolutely.
And it would be really easy to do because you just take the column that's got the 100 points in it and divide it by the number of games or by 100.
If you do that, Sparky, find me at the football game and I'll buy you a hot dog or something.
Hot dogs are not good for me this week. They cost me a lot of ER time. Okay. FanDuel betting odds on Saskatchewan is a monstrous 9.5 points with an over-under of 53.5. CFL Pick'em has Saskatchewan at 93, Winnipeg at a measly 7. And Sparky Calculator has the Edmonton Elks at 56. No, he has the Saskatchewan Roughriders at 56. Okay. And CJ is going to put his score out here just because he doesn't want Rick to have any problems. So CJ is taking Saskatchewan at 54 until Edmonton gets a quarterback. And we don't even know who's starting. because the last we heard, Mark Killam, the head coach, has said that they are competing for the starting position right now. He has not yet defined who his starter is for Friday night. This is Wednesday night. So 2 days from now, he hasn't announced his starter yet that I have seen. Have you guys seen it?
I have not.
Nope.
Nope.
He has not.
No. Okay. So Sparky has Saskatchewan at 56, CJ at Saskatchewan at 54. I don't even think this is going to be a contest. Rick, what are you doing?
What am I doing? What am I doing? Well, I'm going for Saskatchewan, of course.
Good. Thank you.
As
Are you going
much
to
as
take
I-
your 58 now?
Yeah, let's go 58.
Okay. I mean, Charles could have given up his 58 to you, because you have done 58 all season. So, but anyhow, beside the point, I'm not no pressure. William, what are you doing here?
You see, this is hard for me because
You hate both teams.
No, I read an article today where they compared Edmonton's quarterback. What's his name?
Trey Ford, Cody Fajardo.
Trey Ford. They compared Trey Ford's career. Are you ready? Are you sitting down? To Doug Flutie's career.
I know.
And how they are kind of the same, with the exception of scoring touchdowns, winning Grey Cups, and being able to throw the ball.
Okay. In all honesty, I wouldn't compare them head to head, but their playing styles are very similar.
Well, not quite though.
One did it
No,
well.
Doug Flutie has
Doug
talent.
Doug Flutie has a good style, and he scored touchdowns, and he won games. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Trey Ford hasn't gotten there yet. It's just the winning games part that's the problem. Okay, so once he fixes that, he'll be the best quarterback ever in CFL history. Anyways,
Yeah.
I just said they have similar playing styles. I never said they were equal.
If they start Cody Fajardo, I think they have a better chance. I didn't say they were going to win. They have a better chance. Corey Mace is probably just drooling when he sees this because, once again, Calgary has to keep pace. They have to win because Saskatchewan will pass them. So I'm going to go with Edmonton. No, Saskatchewan. 52.
52. Charles.
Well, I am going to pick the Edmonton Elks to lose this game. This is just kind of this is as close to a layup as you're gonna get. I'm on the same page as Will that if Cody Fajardo wins, I think that the Elks have a better chance. But I think even with Cody Fajardo, their chance at winning is extremely minimal. I do not like this Edmonton team. I saw them live. I've seen them live a couple of times. They're not a good football team. Say what you want about Trey Ford and so on. That's only one part of it. Their defense is okay, but it's not great. The special teams suck. The running backs aren't getting much of anything. They're just not a good football team. Saskatchewan clearly is a good football team, or at least significantly better than Edmonton. Saskatchewan's going to win this one. Saskatchewan, 56 points.
How many points?
56.
46?
56.
56.
5-6.
Yeah, I got it. Yes. Okay, so the third game up is the Winnipeg Blue Bombers into Toronto to play the Argonauts. And what do we have here? We got a Winnipeg straight across the board pick from CFL.ca. FanDuel has Winnipeg at 4-point favorites with a 51.5 over under. CFL Pick'em has Winnipeg at 73 and BC 27. I'm impressed that they're giving BC 27 when they're not even playing the game. They're giving Toronto 0. So I'm sure that this is a typing error for Sparky, but that's
I would
beside the
think
point.
so.
Yeah. So the Sparky calculator has Winnipeg at 55. CJ has taken the Winnipeg Blue Bombers at 54. Because that's the way it's going to be. Toronto is just not that good of a team. They are playing with their backup quarterback the entire season so far, and maybe for the entire season. So, at what point in time do you consider Nick Arbuckle their starter? It's a good
Right
question,
now, I
isn't
say
it?
he. Right now, I say he is the starter until Kelly comes back.
So, Kelly missed the first 9 games of last season due to a suspension. He missed the last game of the season, or he got injured in the last game of the season in the playoffs. And he's missed the first 7 games of the Argos so far this year. I think there's 7 or 6. 6, because they had a bye in there. So this is week 8. He is missing in week 8. Coach Ryan Dinwiddie had said that Kelly would be back in week 7. We're now in week 8, and we have not seen him practice yet. He has not stepped foot on the practice field. He is not even in Canada. So I don't see him coming back anytime soon. If he's back in week 9, I would be surprised. Personally, at this point in time, I'd just fucking release the son of a bitch so you don't have to pay him. Well, you do because he's still injured. But beside the point, and I was thinking about this today. If Toronto actually did release Chad Kelly, would Edmonton or Ottawa pick him up?
In a heartbeat.
I think so.
I know the Edmonton fan base would just take a shit kicking over this one. If you think the stands are empty now, I can't see them supporting that move. Anyhow, we've got the Winnipeg Blue Bombers into Toronto. William, what's your pick? What's your score?
It's in Toronto, right?
It's in Toronto.
Yes. Yep.
It is.
And Zach Collaros is playing, correct?
It would appear so.
I believe so.
Okay. He has been practicing with the first team reps. That does not mean he is playing.
No.
There has been no announcement. There has been no announcement about how much he's been practicing, other than the fact that he has been practicing. Because Mike O'Shea does not reveal information and constantly is getting in trouble from the gaming sites for not giving out proper injury reports.
So,
So,
I am gonna pick Toronto.
Okay.
50 points.
5-0. Okay, Charles, throw you up here right now.
This is a bit of a tough one because I don't really know the health of Zach Collaros, and I have no confidence in Chris Streveler. Yes, I know he beat the Lions. I still don't have any confidence in him. But the Argos have been crap all year.
Exactly. I think Streveler could beat the Argos.
This is a tough one. Oh, you know what? Winnipeg 40-45. It'll be low scoring.
Rick?
Winnipeg 58.
Okay. And the last game has the Tiger Cats. The Big Hammer is coming to BC to play the Lions in the Dome. We have Pat Steinberg Pat Steinberg is the only media personnel that is taking the Lions. Everybody else is pulling the Ticats. FanDuel has BC at 3.5-point favorite with an over-under of 54.5. That puts me under. And CFL Pick'em has Hamilton 56, BC 44. So it's a very, very close, closely drawn. Sparky Calculator. So Sparky has BC playing in 2 games now. So that's a really short week, playing
Well, we got double their
Saturday
chances
night
to win
and then playing Sunday again. It's not fair. It's not fair to BC.
They're going to have a lot of injuries.
They're going to have a lot of injuries. And Sparky Calculator has Hamilton at 53. CJ is taking the BC Lions at 54. I think BC is a better team. I'd like to believe that. I don't know whether my confidence level is not really high, but it's higher than 50%. Okay. I think the Lions are going to win this game. I think they've lost too many games in the last little while. They need to come together as a team. And Hamilton, are they getting cocky? I don't think so. But yeah, they're time. It's time for a loss for Hamilton. My belief, anyhow. William, I know Rick's going to take Hamilton because he just does.
Yeah. And I'm going to give you and Charles the benefit of the doubt because you hate when I pick BC because then they lose automatically.
Yeah.
But this year I haven't picked them very much and they've still lost. But
because they're losers.
And I don't think Hamilton is that good of a football team.
Neither do I.
But I don't think BC's that good of a football team.
Neither do I.
I'm going to go Hamilton 52.
52. Rick, are you taking your favorite team, Hamilton?
Hamilton 58, baby.
Hamilton 58. And that takes Charles with BC because I know he's the homer pick.
Yeah.
But he has to say it for Sparky's benefit.
A quick question. Is Kenny Lawler injured?
No.
Okay. Because I remember he did at least leave the game for a little bit last week because I saw him limping around on the sidelines. But, oh boy, if they can't contain the rider receivers, they got Kenny Lawler. That's going to be tough. I'm going to take BC. Surprise, surprise. Confidence is very low, although I do think the Lions are a better team than what they showed last week, and I think they're a better team than they've showed this year. I think they just needed to all come together. And you know what? Let's not try and fall back
together.
What?
All we need is a little fairy dust sprinkled and it'll all be okay.
All right, whatever. And let's not maybe
unicorn
fall behind.
Farts and fairy dust.
10 points.
Charles, what's your score?
BC 51.
BC 51. Good pick. Good pick. I like it. Okay. So that's it. We're finished the Sparky calculator. We're over to the Let's Talk Pia. Yeah. So one thing that we didn't talk about in the what the hell just happened here? In the game chats is that in the Saskatchewan BC game, Kadeem Carey was carried off the field, and his season is done. Okay, so he has a knee injury, and he is gone for the year.
So see what happens. See what happens when you badmouth teams. Okay, last year, end of the season, after he won the Grey Cup, he badmouthed the Calgary Stampeders. And what happened? He got cut by Toronto, and he got injured in Saskatchewan. I'm not going to say anything other than that.
Karma's a bitch.
Yep.
100% it is. So,
yep.
Kadeem Carey is out for the season with a very severe knee injury. Corey May said, if I'm a betting man, I would bet he's not back this season. So
I would bet that is the end of Kadeem Carey's career because he
It could
is
be.
34, 35, I thought. And I thought he would pack it in this year. So you'll see.
yeah, I mean he's going to get paid to rehab, so he might as well do it.
Well,
But
yeah, he's still got to
yeah,
walk.
still gonna walk.
Oh, he's only 32.
So Chad
but that's
Kelly,
32. That's still
Chad
pretty
Kel-
old for running
oh,
back.
Chad Kelly, Toronto Argonauts starting quarterback, which hasn't played yet this year, was still not in attendance at practice as of Wednesday, which is today.
Right.
So Matthew Shinetti was talking with head coach Ryan Dinwiddie, would not rule out Kelly for this week. So
What?
Toronto is
would you-
playing Saturday, and he has yet to be at practice on Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah. And
It's
Dinwiddie
official
has
then.
listed him as day-to-day.
It's official then.
What? Ryan
He
Dinwiddie's
must
an idiot?
No, he must have caught Ryan Dinwiddie fucking a goat. Anyways, that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Why would he be
I
the starter? He
absolutely
hasn't
cannot argue that.
he hasn't played this year, and you think he can come in on 2 days worth of practice?
He's played like
and start?
He's played like
He's not
7
that
times
good.
in the last year and a half.
I know.
Check
Anyways,
out. You want to know what'll happen then? Check out what happened when Nathan Rourke came back last year against Winnipeg on like 3 days practice. See how well
Right.
that went.
And not that we can look too much into stats, but Arbuckle is the third. He's number 3 in passing, and he's really close to number 1 and number 2. So
I know. It's not the quarterback position that Toronto is failing at right now.
No, it's their
I don't think
defense.
so either.
It's their defense.
Because their defense got decimated in the offseason, got picked apart by several teams, and they just didn't bring in the quality replacements that they needed. Not rocket science.
No. So we're talking about injuries here. Kadeem Carey's gone for the season. Chad Kelly hasn't showed up yet this season. And Montreal Alouettes quarterback Davis Alexander was put on the 6-game injury list and is not expected to be back. Actually, what's Herb's last name? It's really weird, right? Zelinsky or something.
Zerkowski.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, do not rule out the fact that Montreal can take him off the injury list.
That's fair.
Sure
you can do that.
Sure they can.
Okay. So it's not a
You lose your cap
season-ending
savings
hamstring
when you do that.
injury for Davis Alexander. They're hoping that he comes back sooner than later. Okay, but they have put him on the 6th game just so they don't have to pay his salary, or it doesn't go against the cap.
But it is
Okay.
And it is a
What's that?
hamstring injury. It is a hamstring injury. They can take weeks upon weeks upon weeks.
That could take a year.
Yeah.
And if you
Depending on
come
how
back
bad
a
it
little, little too quick, like I think we just saw, they can get re-aggravated fairly easily.
Especially
Yeah.
if he takes off and runs for a touchdown.
Well,
Yeah.
and once again, he was in the heat of the battle, and he decided that his body should do what it used to do, and that was a bad choice.
Yeah. He
Just
did a
saying.
cut and he shouldn't have. So as William had mentioned earlier, that Ottawa GM Sean Burke has endorsed head coach Bob Dice despite the poor start. Bob Dice is still our head coach moving forward. Okay. Anybody have anything to say about that? Other than why?
Bless their hearts.
This is why Ottawa doesn't win.
This is why Ottawa doesn't win.
Yeah.
Not that Edmonton is doing much better.
But once
now-
again, I am concerned. I'm concerned with Ottawa because they've lost that team twice now. So, and this has been a while, couple years, 3 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
That they haven't been good.
So far this season, we have had 6 teams playing a backup quarterback as the starter.
Yep.
Six out of 9. The only
Yep.
teams who have not lost their starting quarterback has been Edmonton, Calgary, and Hamilton.
I have a question.
Yes.
Does Edmonton have a starting quarterback?
At this point in time, Trey Ford has started every game. Now, does that mean
Okay.
Cody Fajardo is now going to be the starter, and this is our 7th team that started with their backup? Yes. Yes.
More power to Mark Killam for actually pulling Trey Ford last week and putting in Cody Fajardo. Because
Yeah, but it was only 2 minutes left in the game.
It didn't make a difference.
Well, but he still scored some
It
points.
did. They scored 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he had more passing yards than Trey Ford did.
Fair. That's true.
What does that tell you?
I love the game in BC where BC had as many points as he had yards.
Yeah.
That was sad.
Did Bobby?
Okay,
Ford
so Edmonton's confront the identity crisis with Trey Ford. What is happening here? Brendan McGuire, he wrote an article on this.
Oh, was that Brendan McGuire's article?
It is.
Cool.
He's the one that compared him to Doug Flutie.
Oh, is he? Oh, I gotta send him a freaking text for sure.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think
He needs to be taken to task on that.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I mean, they both play on the turf. They use the same kind of ball. They both wore a helmet. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so Sparky came up with something for us here. And before preseason, total season, we did our predictions for what we expected to happen this year in the CFL. We are now at the 1/3 way through the game, 21 weeks in the season. We're past 7 weeks. Do you guys want to know how well your predictions are?
Not really, because I don't think that mine are very good.
I already looked.
Sure, what the hell?
All I can say before you start, is all of us, seem to have drank the
Winnipeg Kool-Aid?
CJ Kool-Aid. Because
CJ Kool-Aid in what regard?
Yeah, because we picked BC higher than they should be.
Sparky didn't.
Me and Sparky are the only ones who didn't.
Sparky put BC down in 3rd in the West, but Calgary in 4th. William, you had BC in 3rd. Saskatchewan and Edmonton back. We're not going to talk about these predictions because they're sad. We all had Montreal. Oh, Rick, you had Hamilton in 1st in the East. Surprise, surprise, surprise. So did CJ. I had Hamilton in 1st in the East.
They're going to get there, buddy. They're going to get there.
Sparky, you had Toronto. You picked Toronto to be leading the East. Shake my head.
Yeah, they kind of went the other way there.
All predictions based on nothing.
Yeah, well, CJ had BC in 1st.
Did anybody get anything right?
No. Yes. CJ has Edmonton in last place. Sparky has Edmonton in last place. Charles has Edmonton in last place. Will has Edmonton in last place. And Rick has Edmonton in last place.
Partial victory.
We got that right.
We got that right, right?
At least we can smell shit when it's out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rick had Toronto down there as well. Will had Ottawa. Charles had Ottawa. CJ had Ottawa. Sparky had Calgary.
Yeah,
He did
Sparky's
not like the defensive backs of the Calgary Stampeders before the season started.
They've been pretty good.
He hated them.
He hated them, and they're all, well, they're not rookies, but they're pretty new. So
Yeah. We all picked Saskatchewan to be a lot lower than they are, considering they're tied for first overall. Most of us had them in 7th place.
I think a lot of that is because we were expecting Trevor Harris to get hurt. Maybe it's just taken longer to get hurt because I think that's what we were all expecting.
I still think he's
and
going
that
to get hurt.
still might come, yeah.
Yeah. We're only a third of the way through the season. They lose him for 2/3 of the season, like this week coming up, and they're done. And Saskatchewan, even with a quarterback, usually tanks in September, right?
They always seem to. I don't know why.
They go into that Labor Day Banjo Bowl games and they just tank. They never recover from those. So it is what it is. So that's it. I think we're going to wrap the show on that one. We're an hour and a half in, and I got to load it up to YouTube. Anything you guys want to say before we pack it in?
I'm good.
Good here.
Okay.
Yep.
This has been Let's Talk CFL podcast episode number 614. I've been your host, Christopher Jones. We talked football for about an hour and a half, give or take. We're going to watch football this weekend. It's going to be exciting. 4 days in a row, one game each night. And we'll talk to you, come at you next Wednesday. Say goodnight, William.
Good night, everybody. Watch football this weekend. Just so you know, Rick McDonald, the Brendan McGuire we were talking about is not our nephew.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
But they are related, apparently. They've talked to each other, so in some weird way. Anyways.
They know each other, yeah.
Yes, they do.
Okay, Rick, say goodnight.
Good night. Thanks for watching / listening.
Yes, exactly. Some of us do that. Okay, Charles, say goodnight.
Good night, good evening. Enjoy 4 games this weekend. Talk to you next week.
Okay, buddy. You guys all take care.